What's up, guys? Welcome back to the SLI Invitational. We have CDEC going up against EHOME.Keen lower bracket, so loser of this one goes out because it is game 3. EHOME.Keen and CDEC both with some, pretty okay showings and then some pretty shaky showings, but we'll see who's more consistent in this third and final game. I'm Mike Loris, going to be your caster for this one. We have another game coming up. What time is it? Ooh, it's supposed to be in 20 minutes. Both of these two series have gone 3 games so far. LFY versus IG should be happening sometime later. I don't know. Not my problem. My problem is this game right now. So we'll be here and we'll see who's able to take this one. Quick look at the bans. Ricky is banned out first phase. Let's CDEC grab the Monkey King, but EHOME.Keen Dark seems like he forgot to play everything but the Legion Commander, so EHOME.Keen are going to grab that one for him one more time. First Legion game was average. Second one was definitely a lot more solid, but this is the opening that EHOME.Keen have worked with for the past 2 games. Might as well run it back a third time. It's pretty solid, I guess. Again, it leaves you pretty open. If it's in your comfort zone, this Legion Commander, then fine, go for it. Crystal Maiden probably never going to be a bad pick in this current meta, unless things start to drastically shift with some sort of different surprise pick, which hasn't happened just yet. But where EHOME.Keen are going to open up with the exact same thing, CDEC going to stick to their guns as well. Monkey King for the Roam, Warlock for the pure babysit role, and CDEC now are, well, extremely open, as are EHOME.Keen with this opening. Legion Commander goes towards offlane, and Crystal Maiden usually goes towards jungle. You do lack that babysitter type hero, but it's not too late to pick up a Witch Doctor, and you should be pretty happy about that. So now you just got to take out the generally powerful heroes. The Lifestealer was untouched in the last game, which is pretty interesting. We usually see that hero first banned or first picked, really. You take him if you can get him. The team's opting to go for something a little bit different outside of that hero. It definitely does seem like CDC have a little bit more room for that type of hero, but it also seems like they are going to be gunning for the mid laners. Invoker out, Lina out. Puck would be pretty powerful for both sides, really. Never mind. It's no longer a good pick. I would say Puck is probably a bad pick at this stage. And an Ember. So mid lane selection looking rather thin. OD still definitely a powerhouse hero who's still in the pool for the mid lane. Tinker as well, though perhaps a little bit more situational. Still available to either side. With a Legion Commander, you don't really have to build around her all that much. As long as you have some damage from some other ally, you'll be okay. It doesn't have to necessarily come from your mid laners, so they could go for someone like a TA and be happy with that, knowing that there's no Ember matchup there. Or go for an Earth. Just mirror the Monkey King. Get some deforestation going. Make sure he doesn't have the time of his life up in those trees. It's a reasonable pick, mostly because they can get it. It's going to help out the mid laner, makes the mid lane a lot safer because you know that you will have those rotations, at least sometimes, from this Earth Spirit. And of course, he is pretty nice with the extra mana, and just working well with the CM. A proactive initiation with the roll in onto a Warlock, silence him. If you can lock out a Chaotic Offering from a fight, you can be hard pressed to lose it. But CDEC, they're going to go ahead and grab Shades of Game 1 here. Ursa, once again the pick for them. Abaddon offlane, still a possibility for CDEC. And we're going to have something very similar to what we saw in that first game. It doesn't really seem like that's an awful pick. Like Ursa again versus Legion Commander is a good reason why we see this hero. Last time CDC just slammed first picked it, but this time going to take a little bit longer. This Weaver pick, though, is going to be a problem. CDC have dealt with the Weaver pretty well in the past. Bat Rider, especially with that hero, but Legion Commander makes the Bat Rider pick a lot worse. And Centaur Warrunner is an okay hero dealing with the Weaver. Blink Stomp with an Ursa, you could definitely get the job done, but now you're looking at the mid lane to handle a Weaver, and usually, especially with the Puck and Lina both banned out, Mid laners don't usually contribute all that much as far as CC is concerned. Just all damage. EHOME.Keen have an okay amount of crowd control themselves. You can go for like situationally at least, a Storm Spirit. Go towards that mid lane and try to get some initiation advantage. Very quick initiation can kind of overcome the lack of disables just by virtue of having the element of surprise. Will probably be going just straight damage though. The Shadow Fiend will be banned out. And both teams still looking for that mid laner. And CDEC, I mean, they have the Monkey King, and EHOME.Keen have the Earth Spirit, so it will be most likely a 2v2 lane if it really does call for it. You know what I don't want to see right now? I don't want to see a Venomancer. I don't feel like that's going to be a good pick.
5 seconds remaining.
OD, probably just a safe one for CDEC to have. Imprison is really good up against Legion Commander. Gets you that extra damage oomph, so you may not have the most disables for Weaver, but, you know, when you can just blast him in one shot, thanks to a Sandy's Eclipse, it doesn't really matter, right? You could always imprison his target or imprison him and just kind of fire and forget. I think that's probably one of the safer ways for CDEC to go right now. It will leave them a little bit light on their objective taking. And we saw that again in the first game where they weren't really able to kill off towers. The hero that they pick up in order to kind of smooth over that power curve is the Templar Assassin. Once you get Desolator, you will plow down towers easily. How good is Wind Ranger here for CDEC? I don't think it's on really any team's radar, but Wind Ranger for killing off towers, for the extra stun. If Wind Ranger is playable in this patch, and from what I've seen, the answer is no, but if she was, that would actually be a pretty sick pick here for CDEC, not gonna lie. TA will be kicked out.
Dire team pick.
So looking at like Tinker, OD are the probably two last remaining, really solid mid lane heroes. You could do Sniper as well if CDEC really want to go for that. That'll give them some nice chip damage versus those towers. But it is pretty easy to sit on a Sniper as an Earth Spirit +1 any other hero combination. You could really crush him in lane.
Reserve time.
Yeah, I would really like to see a Wind Ranger, honestly. Mostly for variety's sake. It's been a while. I do like me some Wind Ranger. Watching her is definitely something that never gets old. Is there any way that they can synergize the Stampede? The mid lane, usually that doesn't happen. Yeah, it's just going to be the Storm Spirit. Again, lack of hard crowd control. Sometimes smoothed over by just quick initiation. And CDEC can get in and out very quickly with the heroes they have. And obviously Blink Dagger on Centaur, Ursa. Pretty standard stuff there. Stampede, Ball Lightning. Monkey King has mobility. You can get in and get out pretty quickly. This does let EHOME.Keen pick up a favorable matchup. They have a lot of damage right now. They just need someone who could pressure the Storm Spirit. Now, Tinker is going to be out because of the Storm Spirit pick. A Tinker pick will be kind of suicidal here. EHOME.Keen. What can they go for here? With the Earth Spirit, you don't really have to work too hard to kill off a Storm. You can go for just a really solid laner. Still, OD is fine. Viper is in consideration for them, in theory, at the very least. Seems like OD is still on top, though. I don't know. It doesn't seem like there are a lot of mid laners, viable mid laners, still left in the pool. Legion, and I guess Legion can go mid versus Storm. I don't think I've seen that before, but I don't see why that shouldn't be done. You could also Medusa kind of well for EHOME.Keen. It'll be really slow and kind of risky. But up against Ursa and Storm, it's actually not the worst pick in the world. I don't think there are many strength heroes that go mid outside of Alchemist nowadays. DK is not really the greatest here. It's okay, actually. I wouldn't be a huge fan of it, though. Ooh, a Silencer. Gotta admit, that was not on my radar. But a silencer for a proactive silence just up against Warlock is already some pretty nice value. Add on to that his outranging of the Storm Spirit, his pretty powerful lane control. I actually don't mind that one bit. It also lets you use Global Silence in tandem with the duel from the Legion Commander. Get very safe duels where you don't have to worry about anything really interrupting you. Go for Lotus Orbs and BKBs and ways of getting rid of that silence. So it's not going to work forever. But I do think this is actually a pretty reasonable pick here for EHOME.Keen. What they can work with is the fact that Silencer Earth Spirit can kill off a Storm, whereas Storm early on aggressively is really not a good aggressive hero. Like, he can't outrange Silencer, he needs to get really close. Really difficult to do that, even with the Monkey King rotating in, so EHOME.Keen should have the mid lane advantage. That's just the side effect of picking up a Storm Spirit. As powerful as he is in the mid-late game. Oh god, this lag.
Prepare for battle.
Oh jeez. Well, that's actually fine. It's smoothed over. We're okay. You're a low-range hero. It's hard to get action up against your lane opponent, especially if your lane opponent is going to outrange you, and most heroes do. So I'm not really sure if this Storm, played by Shade, is going to have a great time. Though he does have a sick mustache. That mustache must give him a lot of power. Sep is going to be playing the Centaur War Runner. We've got Demon on the Warlock. Monkey King going to be wandering around. Again, it's going to be played by June. Played a pretty decent one earlier. At least Flyby on the Ursa. Again, played that one earlier as well. On the other side, we have Dark on his third Legion Commander in a row. Wrong's going to be on the Crystal Maiden. Babysitting G on the Weaver. Over towards mid lane, it is going to be the Silencer. Earth Spirit is here as well. And this mid lane is going to be very interesting. Let's see what build Silencer really wants to go for here. You don't really need a lot of glaives to put the screws to the Storm Spirit. We've seen a lot of this this curse picked up on kind of supporty Silencers. It's most of the time the way we see Silencers run. You do want to be able to just aggro the Storm Spirit as much as possible, though. Get into a right-click war with Storm. With or without the glaives, honestly, you're probably going to come out ahead because you get more hits on the incoming and outgoing of that fight. Well, Storm, slightly inferior block. It is going to be a 2v2 setup right now. CDEC have been doing this quite often. They're offlaners supported by a Warlock. And, ugh, this lag. Is anyone gonna die right now? Seems like the Legion. The chance, I suppose, but just the passive picked up on June. It's gonna be chased around. It doesn't seem like there's a lot going on, so I'm gonna very quickly try to reconnect, guys. And hopefully, I don't miss first blood, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be worth it. Trust me, guys. Come on. Quick. Get back in. Get back in. Before the first blood happens. If I miss first blood, it's not my fault. It's okay, guys. It's okay. Nothing is going to happen. Look, it's 0-0. Oh, God. Oh, no. Not like this. Well... we might have missed first blood, like, just happened. You know that, right? It just now happened, and we missed it. What? Don't return me to matchmaking? Okay, good. We didn't miss anything, guys. Storm Spirit is kind of getting his ass kicked, though. Pretty much to be expected. Gotta assume that there was a roll in there from the Earth Spirit. He's missing a little bit of mana, so that seems just about right. But being outranged, being outgunned, having kind of a slanted lane because of the 2v1... really rough for a Storm Spirit. I didn't expect it to be that bad, but yeah, I mean, it does make sense. So the mid lane devoid of heroes. I wonder if CDEC can get wrecked, Earth. Put a hero over in mid to at least absorb some experience. The things with Silencer, though, is that if he is going to be in your lane, he can just park himself right behind your creep wave. And if you're a melee hero, if you're a low range hero, Glaive's 24/7. Like, Monkey King's going to try to absorb some XP while the Storm just jungles, but like I said, Silencer can just park himself right behind your creep wave and kick your ass. This is rough times already. Now, outside of that mid lane for CDEC, Sep is having a pretty nice time up against this Weaver. Nice versus this low health hero, ends up doing a lot of damage to himself. And of course, top lane Flyby is going to be doing just fine up against that Legion. But over towards mid, oh my god, he's using his spells on a TP scroll. What a scrub. We do have Earth Spirit as well as the CM. Looking for that Storm. There's only so many places that a Storm can go to, so you know that if you keep your eye on the jungle, you'll eventually find someone. Looks like that someone is going to be Flyby. Roll in is a little bit wide, so it doesn't connect, but they do have the CM here with the Frostbite. With the kick there as well, Flyby's going to take a lot of right clicks, and did he just stop moving? I think he just stopped moving. He's going to Earthshock, try to run the other way. No, try to fight back up against Dark, but there's not enough damage there, and Dark will draw first blood. Great rotation from EHOME. It's a rotation that, as CDEC, you don't really expect, because the CM usually is not going to get active until she has a couple more levels. I mean, it is 3, almost 4 minutes in the game, and CM is only level 2. But usually, you don't have to worry about that gank for at least another 30, 40 seconds. So the timing coming in as a surprise to the Ursa, and Warlock is not there to help him out, just making sure that the Centaur has all the sustain he wants. Ursa's kind of on an island right now, and outnumbering Ursa is, well, the best way you can possibly take him down. This Silencer, though, 27 for 19. A ridiculous advantage for EHOME in this mid lane. It's a wash over in bottom, it looks like, but outside of that, the Dire's still getting some decent CS. Shade's going to decide to return to this lane. Very quickly, we'll realize he probably shouldn't return to this lane. Curse and a Glaive. He's just going to keep jacking up that curse, yeah. Level 3 now. The damage this does adds up real quick. Up towards top lane, Flyby. This time has some help from demons. It's also not really a huge attempt there by EHOME to go for this Ursa. Pings are out. They do see Shade straight up. Will they be able to kill him? A Storm Spirit usually jungles pretty well insofar as he doesn't lose that much HP, but he will lose a lot of HP when the trolls and 2 heroes are attacking him. Shade should know that there's a ward. He may not know it's up here though, probably expect it over here. And EHOME will get another very nice kill with these supports. At the same time, camp out to set up for June perhaps? Start the beatdown, Orb of Venom. With the Frostbite, Earth Spirit's gonna kick him in the face, and the Sudoku is not there. The Silencer actually swings in to steal some int. Now the roll in towards Storm. Not like this, Storm. Alright, he'll get out of there. He'll be fine. But the Monkey King wandering into one too many heroes. CM Earth Spirit. Always a devastating combo that you have to worry about, but usually you don't have to worry to this degree. They are putting on an absolute roam clinic right now. It is going to cut into the CM's farm a little bit, because she's not straight up jungling, but totally worth it to kill off a Storm. And that's really why I didn't like the Storm pick for CDEC. It's fine within their own draft, but last pick without knowing your mid lane matchup, it just makes you so open to just getting crushed in lane. And those heroes I listed outside of Storm, those heroes are a little bit more resilient. Like, yeah, they may not be exactly what you're looking for, but they will at least have a decent shot up against this Silencer. Now Shade is going to at least have level 6. That's not going to help him as far as mitigating this harassment, but dying is at least something that he has some sort of counterplay to. Tree on top of a tree, looking at Dark. Flyby, level 3 Fury Swipes can do a lot of damage, but only level 1 Boundless Strike, it's not all that powerful. Step in the meantime, over in bottom, will narrowly dodge the kick. Has no stomp just yet. Double Edge is there, but Weaver's just going to jump out of there with a time lapse. Sep doesn't have a shrine either. Most likely he's going to have to go all the way back to the base. And the Storm Spirit, even with level 6, still forced into the jungle. Now, usually Storm Spirits get wrecked up till level 6, then they're able to stay in lane. Not quite the case here. Silencer is the happiest silencer you'll ever see. Maybe not as much intelligence stolen as he would like, but man, that's fine. He's gonna have farm to make up for a lack of int. And he still has 1 stack, so it's not that bad. Hand of Midas 7 minutes in on the mid lane silencer. Pretty fearsome. I mean, usually we just see Hand of Midas for gold value, for, I guess, in Invoker's case, experience value. You get that as silencer, obviously, but you also get attack speed value. Silencer is definitely one of those heroes, along with like Spirit Breaker, who gets a huge benefit to having that extra attack speed. It's not a lot, it's not cost effective, but hey, when you're dealing this much damage, it is totally worth it. Stampede over in top, they're gonna chase down Dark Shrine active, but not able to do much. It will be Stampede used to get CDEC a very big kill. Just get themselves on the board. Legion Commander not worth the most, obviously, but hey, it's something. Getting Flyby accelerated in this game can kind of mitigate the fact that you have no Storm Spirit. A blink in onto a Silencer. Yeah, you don't really have much counterplay. Silencer with the Hand of Midas should probably be looking for some sort of mobility item. So Ursa's Initiation, blink, and try to claw him down will most likely be met by a Force Staff out at some point. Right now, Silencer just build up his basic items. He doesn't have anything to worry about. Literally nobody in his lane. Although bottom lane, Sep does have a little bit of something to worry about. June's gonna come in to help out. Centaur with return is able to do a lot of damage to someone like a Weaver. The Weaver is actually gonna bounce out of his lane. Grab a regen rune. That feels kind of nice. Now he's on a scouting mission for a storm. Now he's gonna just camp out mid lane. Do they really just want to straight push this tower? They're gonna give the lane to a CM, which is fine, although CM can definitely get a similar benefit just by jungling. They're pretty much rotating in an orb, a Blightstone. I was gonna say Orb of Corruption, but that's Warcraft 3, man. Rotate in the Blightstone. Get the tower and bounce back out. It's not that much time off the lane for the Weaver, honestly. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah, it's time for the supports to get a little bit of love here. CM, almost at level 6. Earth Spirit gonna chill in the mid lane. Get some experience for himself. Silencer, level 3 Glaives. Can jungle pretty quickly, and with range, like, he doesn't take any damage from creeps either. At least not relevant damage. When can the Storm Spirit start playing the game? He is 2nd place in net worth just by jungling, which is a testament to how powerful that really is. Stampede gonna be cancelled by the kick, although he will still get a lot of distance. Not sure if it's gonna be enough. The Glaives are following. They just need to keep vision of him so that the Silencer get one more attack. There it is. And Silencer gets a little bit of int away from the Centaur and for himself. Hand of Midas attack speed, getting that kill, huh? Pretty good. It's pretty good. CDEC, their mid lane is not really going according to plan. But still, Flyby and Storm Spirit both have a decent amount of value. I'm actually very impressed by how much value Shade has. And Storm Spirit jungling, any hero pure jungling nowadays is a little bit awkward. But he's doing a pretty fine job at keeping competitive in the net worth. The team as a whole, really doing pretty well in that regard. Out-initiate the Silencer. If you can jump on top of him before he's able to get back up or that global silence out, all the farm in the world won't help him there. But we see this Silencer is going to be going for a Force Staff first. It's pretty much a no-brainer up against an Ursa. Demons, not too happy about this. Has a Chaotic Offering. Will maybe drop it to delay the duel, and he will do just that. Lands up to 3 heroes, not bad. Bonds 2 of them together. Here comes the Storm, ball ending in with the Boundless Strike. We'll get them a straight double for Shade. Whew, don't often get to see the instant double kill. But on a Legion and a CM, the Legion still with no duel damage. It's a steep price for just a Warlock. And in the meantime, Sep on this bottom lane, slowly pushing that one in. Centaur not exactly a right clicker, but with no one there, he'll be just fine. And Shade getting some action, which is what a Storm Spirit has to do when he's in a position like this. You can't farm in lane. You gotta just scrape together what gold you can so that you can try to leverage your ball lightning into a handful of kills. And that's already really good for him. He's most of the way towards a Bloodstone. I'm incredibly impressed with the Storm Spirit's farm rate. Of course, you know, 2 kills helps as well. Just a little bit. The Silencer had Global there. Just didn't think it was worth it. That was a very, very long ball lightning. I think by the time the ball lightning ended, he had no mana to do anything else, so he went all in there, Shade. Got paid off. But, you know, if they moved slightly differently, could have been a much different engagement there. A Storm Spirit burning all his mana can very quickly turn very sad. And once Sept gets his Blink Dagger up after this Hood, then things are going to start to take off for CDEC. They at least have some options. They will have a Blink Dagger on Flyby. By that time, they'll probably have an Aegis as well. EHOME will be able to stick around this Roshan area and keep tabs on Flyby, keep tabs on that Roche Pit. Bug gonna see Monkey King up atop the tree. He'll be fine. Yeah, Flyby's almost there. Get an Aegis, get a couple Blink Daggers, and then just try to kind of blitzkrieg the EHOME members as they're kind of off on their own. Monkey King gonna see Dark, see the Blink Dagger. There's still Swarm available. June's gonna bounce out of there, and the help is not coming, actually. That's not a smoke. Still no Blink Dagger on this Ursa just yet. There it is. Can't make any plays happen, although he would have loved to. Sept is just going to eat this tower. Look at that return damage. Jeez. Level 4 return is pretty strong. And now Wrong is on the run. He should be just fine. Over towards the mid lane in the meantime. Boulder kick onto the Storm Spirit, but Ursa's going to jump in, calling the bluff. Global Silence is there, which will stop the Storm Spirit, but will not stop the Ursa. It's going to go straight towards the Silencer. Demons looking to jump in with the Chaotic Offering. Will bond 2 heroes up, but there's no follow-up to that one. Now Demons is in a really rough spot. Will TP out of there. Duel is available, but there's no blink. Use it to get out. Now here comes the Storm. Some revenge for Shade. He will get it, but probably die for it. That's kind of rough, but no way around it. Ball ending out. Short jump, still dead. At least not dueled. Still with 0 duel damage for this Legion. And that's what CDEC have to do. Out-initiate, out-surprise. Get in, get out very quickly. Ideally without losing anyone. And Centaur will help out in that in just a little bit. The Ursa, once he gets into this Roche Pit, which should be soon, they should be at least scoping that one out. We'll go even more ham into those engagements. Not stopping when he sees TPs. They do kind of waste the Warlock ultimate, but get the Storm Spirit a little bit closer towards that Bloodstone. Very, very close to it. And for the EHOME side, Weaver with the Hand of Midas first. Fairly greedy. Is actually very easily punishable by CDEC. I mean, killing off Weaver is not the easiest thing to do. But in general, applying pressure to the EHOME side is something they are interested in doing regardless. Silencer is not forced at first. Rod of Atos is pretty great in this patch, especially up against an Ursa. It's still something that can get him a little bit of space. And at the very worst, it gives him some health. 350 is no small amount. And Force Staff, with the amount of farm he's getting, shouldn't be that far behind. Smoke up now. Blink Daggers at the ready. Monkey King, of course, with his Tree Hop, and Storm Spirit at a decent range as well. Roshan's going to be scouted by Wrong, but using that Nova, sees nothing, will mean that, well, they may not Nova again. Flyby just needs a handful of seconds to deal with this Roche. Everyone and their mom converging on this Roche Pit. Flyby with the heal, with the Morbid Mask as well. Pretty happily in that Roche Pit. Dark and overwhelming odds in, but it's too late. Aegis, someone picked that up. There we go. Bloodstone, Aegis, Storm Spirit 17 minutes in despite jungling and giving up the mid lane. And CDEC now, the pain train will stop for no one. They're going to look towards the Weaver. There is no detection here, yeah. Can't go for a kill. Can make the EHOME side very scared of a fight. The threat of fight is always looming with a Storm Spirit, Blink Centaur, Blink Ursa. Where would they actually go? Top and mid. Obviously their priorities. These bottom towers have been taken. Here comes the Weaver. Looking for June. Doesn't have a lot of backup here, though he does have a... Time lapse will get him very far back towards his allies. Looking for demons. Maybe trying to force out an early chaotic offering. Flyby is going to get dueled up. There's the global silence as well, but he does have the enrage, so he's not taking any damage. Great freezing field from Wrong will instantly get them a double. A little bit of a late chaotic offering. Now here comes the Monkey King ultimate as well as the Storm Spirit. Right on top of the silencer, they'll take him down in an instant. Bounding Strike, looking for the Earth Spirit as well as CM simultaneously. They should be able to take down at least one of them, and they will. But Storm Spirit's the last one alive with no mana. He does have the double life, but he does have a Weaver to deal with as well. Bloodstone regen, quite nice. Legion Commander healing off in the background. Looks like they're thinking about going for Shade, but I don't think they have quite enough gas in the tank. They will still poke and prod, but can't get him. That was a devastating freezing field, and that was even like one of the worst case scenarios, where Legion Commander jumps in and duels an Ursa, who already has that damage reduction. Like, what are you supposed to do about that? You just kind of have to hope it runs out. And it did, and then immediately afterwards, Ursa and Centaur, these quote-unquote tanky heroes, just melted. Not even close. CDEC suffering a pretty bad defeat there. Still have the Aegis on the Storm Spirit. Is going to walk away with a couple of extra kills, Shade. But losing the Ursa and the Centaur there, really, really rough times. Especially since they knew exactly what EHOME were doing. Like, the Weaver was making things so very obvious. And even with all that, CDEC couldn't get much done. Demons, what are you doing there? I don't know, man. He's dead. I'm just gonna go up top lane while the rest of my team is pushing mid. Not like you could have done anything to help out mid, but not the place you want to be. Tier 1 for free for CDEC. Looking for more with the element of surprise. They're putting a lot of their eggs into this Shade basket. Storm Spirit definitely here that's decent in that. We'll need a BKB in order to, or some way to counter this global silence from the silencer. BKB is still probably the best way to do it for this game for CDC. Shade spotted. Roll in is going to be slightly off the mark. Great stomp in the background from Sep, letting the team focus on the Earth Spirit first. So the kick is going to be really great from him. He's still going to take a lot of damage, but with the Shrine, still not dead just yet. Wrong's now going to let it go in the middle of everything. Duel onto the Centaur will get them a handful of kills. Storm Spirit's Aegis now procced. He does have some cover from June, but GG is just going straight to work on the Monkey King and will get him down as well. Storm Spirit's going to pop right back up. Has a suicide. Can't get it. Everyone is dead except for the Warlock, who is not even a part of that fight. An absolute massacre in favor of EHOME.Keen. Global silence and the tankiness of the Earth Spirit, despite not having a lot in the way of bulk. CDEC and their decision to fight around that shrine probably just caught off guard by the fact that there is an observer ward here for EHOME, so they saw absolutely everything. If you're CDEC and you don't expect that, you're sitting on top of that cliff, you're thinking, hey, we have a Storm Spirit. We'll be able to set up a couple of remnants, blast whoever comes up, and then take the fight afterwards. They landed an amazing stomp combo in the back, but it's just a Centaur. Can't really do much by himself. The rest of the allies tied up by an Earth Spirit and not able to kill him off despite Storm and Ursa focusing him. That's just not right, man. That's why you need BKB. They'll take down the Earth Spirit afterwards. It's something for the Storm Spirit, but the cost of that fight is so steep. The CM's ultimates have also been remarkable, and it's even gonna go either lens. I guess, I mean, pretty standard CM build is Glimmer Cape. Usually we see Glimmer Cape Midas and then some sort of mobility item. Either lens not a frequent first pick. But Glimmer Cape, as far as magic resistance is concerned, not great up against CDC. Invis always great, but seems like she prioritizes keeping herself at a distance. So either lens and then Force Staff or Blink. I don't mind that. Blink, Stomp, gonna land onto the Weaver. Double Edge, Big Ball Lightning. They do drop the Rock. That's not gonna quite be enough. They do grab the Legion Commander. Just trying to save her Weaver. Playing as a support Legion Commander. What a hero. It is gonna cost them a Warlock Rock. But for EHOME, losing a Legion Commander while keeping the Weaver alive, completely worth it. Fine, Storm Spirit gonna zip in. CM, completely overshot, but still dead. Another easy pick-off kill for CDEC. This type of pick-off playstyle is exactly what you need out of an Ursa, Storm, and Centaur. And in between these botched fights, yeah, definitely a little bit rough, but still finding quite a bit. The stream is fine on my end, guys. I don't know what's going on. Apparently we're having a couple of issues here. I see it just fine. Computer maybe is not happy with this. EHOME, once again, on the hunt. There's no chaotic offering for a couple more seconds. 70, in fact. That's a lot of downtime. Dark's leading the charge. Storm Spirit is not yet spotted. Flyby's in the area. And you will see a whole bunch of heroes. BKB is up on the Ursa. Gonna try to go for the Earth Spirit, but he does get a clean rollout. Now the Global Silence is there. Ursa cannot purge from himself. Use the BKB a little bit early. It will be a disengaged silence so far, though. The Purge now onto Flyby. BKB pops up on the Weaver. Just messing with the Ursa, but Storm Spirit jumps into the back line, assassinates the Legion Commander and the CM both. The Weaver doesn't have enough damage to prevent these type of pickoffs from happening. And roll in towards the Storm. Get out of there. Silencer returning to the fight, but there's not much fight here. CDEC dancing around this Weaver. Not an easy thing to do.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Still able to get 2 free picks. Just, again, playing around this Weaver. Just jumping into the heroes that don't expect it. Present yourself as a Weaver in the front line like that. Usually you're going to take some focus, but CDEC with really good focus fire calling. Just targeting the heroes that have a little bit less to work with. Is this going to be a smoke under this Observer Ward? Well then, I wonder if the EHOME side saw that. I want to say probably yes. Roshan not up yet. But what? Oh, the Stomp missed? Boundless Strike also missed. This is a Storm Spirit. You're never going to escape. You should not get picked off. This is a Radiant Observer Ward, right? I'm not tripping. So yeah, they saw them smoke. Apparently EHOME just not paying much attention. That kind of sucks. Should not have gotten picked off there. This Legion's having a little bit of tough time, and so is the CM. Jumped in on by the Ursa, immediately one down. Second shortly after will fall. Stomp now, landing on the Weaver. Does have a BKB, but the Warlock Rock is going to chain stun perfectly for a 4-kill total for CDEC. Now, unfortunately for them, they're thinking, hey, let's Roche, but no Roche. Feels bad, man. But an easy 2K gold swing, a truckload of experience, and killing off a big hero in that Weaver. CDEC are calling their shots and using this initiation power to its fullest. The Dark is back up. Silencer is still alive and still farming quite a bit. But with no backup, no damage from the Weaver, going in on this is a great way to commit suicide. Fortification will drive off CDEC. They really just wanted to have this Roshan, but unfortunately the game not working out for them. Either way, CDEC still working with a little bit of a snowball. Starting to build up here. Orkin on the Storm Spirit. Not the greatest versus Weaver with a BKB. But it is another great tool to deal with someone like an Earth Spirit. Not an Ember Spirit. I guess it's also, in theory, pretty good against an Ember Spirit. If that was relevant in this game. They have one way of getting rid of the silence so far. Two ways. Yeah, Lotus and BKB. Helping to get rid of that global silence. Someone pinged that tree. Do they know it's real? I think they know it's real. June is not in a great spot right now. Blink Duel. If you don't move, they can't see you. The Radiant's vision is based on movement. Monkey King down. Not the end of the world, although losing Centaur would be pretty bad. Take a lot of damage, but still slip out of there. The Warlock not as lucky. Caught and killed. Up to the north. Now CDEC, if they had a full health Centaur, can still fight this. Since there's no global silence, but because these heroes don't have buyback, it'll be really rough. They need like a huge ball lightning right in the middle. Here we go, ball lightning right in the middle, and then straight out. Mind game, Stampede, Stomp, onto 3 heroes. Ursa is in as well. There goes the Weaver before he can do anything, and the Roshan. The Aegis is still on the deck right now. It will be the Silencer to grab it with Flyby. Is just going wild, but the CM ultimate on the outsets is going to get a full channel, and the Silencer will pop right back up again. CDEC with a baller attempt, but in the end, just not quite good enough with 3 heroes. If they grab the Aegis there on a Storm, that could have gone completely differently. But EHOME, CDC actually get the last hit on the Roche, but they don't get the Aegis. So that means they don't get the Silencer kill. And there are only 3 heroes there, so there's not enough to cancel the CM's ultimate. That was hitting everyone at the same time, right on the outsets. So Wrong finding some really easy positioning there in that fight. CDEC manning up a lot, but just not quite good enough. They will find and punish the CM. Really, those are 2 consecutive misses up the hill. Doesn't matter, still got it. Fight with no chaotic offering. A desperate fight to try to jack an Aegis. It's pretty darn costly. EHOME don't get away with that Aegis. They did consume it immediately. So CDEC, the tables are still fairly even right now. Tables are even? Tables turn. Look how the turn tables. So they're gonna keep on hunting. Just find some poor sucker. EHOME without an Aegis, they lose a Weaver or a Legion Commander. The door's open for CDEC to go for some of these tier 2s. Looks like they're gonna gear up for a smoke. Do they have one? They're just pinging their shrine. They don't really need the shrine. Yeah, Radiant think they're smoking. I would think that CDEC are smoking as well. Maybe they just don't have any. You know, seems like they do, unless the shop is still glitched. It was glitched at one point. Well, maybe both sides have smoke. Either way, they're just camping out bottom. EHOME do have a global silence. Trying to out-initiate the CDEC squad is kind of tough, but if you do get initiation off, and CDC have to react, you do have a pretty good chance of taking it. There is no vision here for the Dire. They're working completely blind, kind of hoping that someone is going to come to the bottom lane to defend, but if anyone comes, it's going to be as a full man team. Weaver approaching in, is not spotted just yet. There's some detection here for Sep. They're going to jump in, immediately duel onto the Centaur War Runner. He's going to get eviscerated. Now the jump in from the Silencer is going to get pulled back. A lot of damage being done by the Ursa and the Storm. They'll take down the Silencer. Now the Wukong ultimate from the trees. June's going to do so much damage in this fight, as is Shade. Still going to town, Legion Commander. The Ursa is not being dealt with. A bounding strike, jump in onto the Weaver. They take him down, jumping forward for more. Looking for Wrong. And he's going to unleash his ultimate, which will actually kill off the Storm, but not good enough to also kill off an Ursa. It's going to be a triple for Flyby. A massacre in favor of CDEC. Even with no Warlock ult, no Centaur. They still put it together because of how ridiculously farmed this Storm Spirit is, how dangerous the Ursa is. Not over farmed necessarily, but no one's focusing him. No one really can focus him once he gets this BKB up. Weaver's just going to tickle the Ursa, especially once he has his ult up. And it gets really gruesome from there on out. It's Monkey King. Sun Wukong from the trees. And there's nothing that EHOME can really do about that. It was clean initiation from EHOME. That was as good as it gets. But big ball lightning onto the earth. He is going to go invis with the Glimmer Cape. And Storm's going to zip out of there. And cover regen rune. Hey, that's lucky. Still a very, very even game. Constantly on the receiving end of brutal initiation from CDEC. Not much they could really do about that, honestly. Like, have vision up is important, but there's a gem walking around. There was a gem. Yeah, it's on Storm Spirit now. So you can only have vision over so much area. And even then, like, Earth Spirit's farming here, Storm jumps from, like, over here. Like, how is vision supposed to help you against that?
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Need to be quick on their fingers. Tank up and hope that you can survive the initial jump. Speaking of the initial jump, I think June's looking for a jump in with Shade. They do see a Weaver. That's about it right now. A couple remnants giving them some extra flying vision. And are they going to bug out? The Bound to Strike only lands into the Silencer. The Stomp completely whiffs. Now the Global Silence is out. They're just going to have to straight up retreat. The duel, though, is onto the Centaur. They once again lose him. The Warlock is going to get a chance for a big ultimate in the middle of the fight. Ursa and Storm Spirit once again in the thick of things. Will just go to town on everyone. They will lose the Warlock in the back to the Weaver. Nice kick through is going to slow down the Storm. They're going to now chase after this Weaver. BKB already used, and he will be converged upon and killed off. He will take the Courier down, but it's not holding all that much. A 3-for-2 exchange in favor of CDEC once again. This Storm and this Ursa not being dealt with by EHOME. And this time the ultimate does come out. Pretty big one from the Warlock.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
They're looking for more. Silencer is still surviving in like all these engagements, which is honestly a little bit impressive. But Silencer cannot do this by himself. He hasn't stolen that much int. CDC can still cast their spells.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Fortification is there. Creep wave is coming, but so is the EHOME respawns. So CDC gonna back off. Another massive win. And they're just building up some serious late game power.
Middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
So I've got Storm building up the next item, the Lincolns. It's gonna be pretty much anti-Legion Commander tech. It was decent versus the Silencer and the CM as well. Not fantastic, especially when you already have a BKB. It's not like, you know, amazing. It's gonna block a Doom, but yeah, I think it's worth getting. Shiva's Sheepstick also should be in consideration for Shade. His attack speed is pretty darn good. Honestly, just getting like straight up fight items seems kind of viable because of how little focus he's receiving in the fights. Like, there's a lot of downtime in these engagements where Storm Spirit is kind of just sitting there right-clicking things. Now, obviously, the Orchid is going to turn into that item down the line once he gets willing to purchase the Bloodthorn. But he's not quite there yet. Oh, speaking of sitting there right-clicking things, hey, it's a double damage rune that he's going to store in his bottle. Well, good luck dealing with that, EHOME. They have yet to deal with this Ursa Storm combo. It doesn't really look like they're going to be able to pick up anything that will help them substantially. Heart on Weaver is kind of nice, but Weaver's losing his backup really, really quick. They really need a duel to land. A disarm is now up on the Legion Commander, so that is a pretty big possibility in the upcoming fights, but this Ursa, BKB going for MKB, will not miss against the Legion Commander. I don't think there's anyone else with any sort of miss effects. But still, it's damage versus structures, which is, for CDEC, starting to become a little more important. Again, they don't do that very well. Push, towers, until they get your Bloodthorns and your MKBs and items of that caliber. Roshan up in 0 seconds. Literally responds as soon as Monkey King jumps away. That feels pretty bad, man. Now, EHOME cannot fight in a Roche pit up against 5 of CDEC. They can, however, try to catch CDEC with the element of surprise. Have seen it only happen once on bottom, and that did not work out well for EHOME. And CDEC only need a handful of seconds in there with this fresh MKB Ursa. Make short work of Roche. But this just might be a finishing blow dealt by CDEC, or the turning point for EHOME. Smoke is out. It will not be blown in the Earth Spirit, it looks like. Obviously, EHOME are keeping their eyes on the Roche pit, but they have their eyes on Wrong and Dark. Observer Ward gonna catch them, and that's gonna be a CM obliterated. Dark not looking too hot either. Doesn't have a BKB or anything like that, and is gonna get eviscerated. CDEC, both of whom have no buybacks. And now the Roshan is free and clear. That was not even the fastest method of initiation. That was very slow. Place an Observer Ward, scope it out, and then jump in. Either way, it's going to be Aegis and Cheese for the Storm and the Ursa, respectively. The CDC going to tend to their lanes, but it's about time to think about how they're going to actually end this game. There's still a couple seconds of downtime here. EHOME, not really the most capable split pushers. But if anyone is going to show their face in lane, once the map... Ooh, Courier down. Once the map closes into, like, this area, once, like, the lanes push in that far, if you show yourself at all, you're in Storm Spirit's range. And let's be honest, you're probably in at least one other hero's range as well.
Excellent.
They're just going to camp out. They are spotted slightly by this Observer Ward. Scan is going to see them as well. Smoke Up is going to run into a Bounding Strike, although Flyby is going to go straight for this Legion Commander. Already not too healthy, though. She will not immediately die. It will be the CM to die first, and now they're going to look for the Earth Spirit with the Storm. In the middle of everything, it's the Monkey King going to deploy all the monkeys in the world, which will force everyone else from EHOME back. Admittedly, not the most losses for them, although the fight's not over yet. They'll go to Dark next. Bounding Strike not up. They have no Blink Dagger. Storm Spirit is off to the side chasing after Earth, which took him quite a long time, actually, to get the kill. It's not really the exchange that CDEC were looking for to win the game, but it's still 2 free kills with a lot of momentum moving forward to go up towards the high ground, so they're going to take that one and be okay with it. Shade has enough mana regeneration to top out very quickly. And Tower is not taking all that much damage here. But again, no one on EHOME is really safe. If Shade wants you dead, he can jump in on you. Speaking of, they're going to jump in towards the Weaver, though he will be just fine. Got purged by the Legion Commander. Shade is still going in. Thinks about it, thinks, and then will go out. Bloodthorn delivered. He has a double life, though, so if EHOME get a little bit too greedy now, they may just end up losing a couple more heroes. Jump in from the Ursa with the Centaur as well. There goes Dark. The Weaver's still alive, still kicking, but I don't think he can kick hard enough, especially when the Storm Spirit and everyone else turns on him, although with the BKB, he will be just fine for right now. Reinforcements are coming in for EHOME. He'll take down the Centaur. Shade is probably going to lose the Aegis here. I don't think they can catch up to him, actually. Never mind. They gotta watch out for the turnaround. Shade is down, but CDEC now can position themselves around the Aegis respawn, and secondary initiation is gonna be there with the BKB popped on Shade. He'll just go to town on the Silencer, dropping very, very low. Jump in from the Monkey King. There's a little bit more damage. Storm Spirit trying to lose that fight and will back out of there. Kind of debating his ally, Monkey King. Demon's gonna teleport out in the meantime, will survive. And Shade will back out as well. CDEC. They take a lot of kills, but in the end, lose the Centaur, lose the Monkey King. Jeez, that gold swing from just those 2 heroes is actually insane. End result also, no Rax is claimed from the CDEC side. That Weaver and his heart, very difficult to kill off. Especially when the Legion Commander just press the attack into him. CDEC do need just a little bit more oomph. I don't think the Bloodthorn was used on the Weaver in that engagement. Again, it's going to be hard to stick because of the BKB, the Legion Commander. But that type of damage is what they need. just massive amounts of burst from that item.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower.
Legion Commander able to survive a long time in these fights, and now an AC picked up on Silencer. Up to 30 intelligence stolen, not bad at all. Sheepstick next, which is a back-breaking item if he's able to pick it up and get the jump on an Ursa or a Storm Spirit. Once they're sheeped up, EHOME can very quickly deal with those heroes. Even with the damage reduction from Sep. We're going to be building up an Abyssal Blade, Ursa. Looking just to be a primary initiator, just keep that Weaver locked down. Of course, with that tier 3 down, they can go for this Shrine. I don't think EHOME are going to want to touch this one. Seems kind of stupid. CDEC, do they still have the cheese? I don't think they do. It would be very surprising if they still had it. Yeah, they don't. Top lane, top area Shrine, though, for EHOME still up. And CDEC will want to take that one down before the next Roche comes up. It's going to be a long time till that happens, but they'll prepare for it eventually. Storm Spirit act as kind of half bait. Half just push the wave in. Even if you jump in on the Storm Spirit, duel him, there's going to be help. Very quick help. This Warlock, point booster into Guardian Greaves. This sequencing is god-awful, but hey, once he gets Guardian Greaves, he will also have a little bit of a way to clean off that silence.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And then he'll eventually be able to go for Ags as well. Unless this point booster is going to be built into a soul booster, which I severely doubt. Bottom lane pushed in. You do this, and then you just wait to see who clears it.
Dire's top
If you don't see any backup for that one hero, you jump in the base and just go for it. If you do see backup, you just push the wave and just be happy with that. We can see CDEC, they're just waiting for EHOME to get stupid. And I don't think EHOME are going to get stupid. As I say that, they're leaving their base a little bit. Any one hero that exits the base is going to be in for a world of hurt. Dark clears the wave with some overwhelming odds. You see, here are the Ursa just off in the side, constantly with Overpower ready, just so we can get that double cast. It's like a good 4 or 5 seconds where you have Overpower available, but still your previous one is still available to you. Just some damage efficiency. They are converging on Shade right now. Monkey King is right around the corner. Flyby's here as well. Shade pops his BKB. He's going to get silenced immediately afterwards. And now they're onto the Ursa, who with this duel is going to take a lot of damage, though will actually win the duel thanks to the help from the Monkey King. Now they're going to move on forward for more. Shade has no BKB, but it doesn't matter. They'll jump on top of the Silencer with the Warlock ultimate dropped. They'll kill him off as well. Earth Spirit is being torn to shreds by Flyby. Weaver is going to back out of there. He'll be fine, but the amount of damage he's doing is just peanuts compared to what CDEC are bringing to the table. Now, 3 of the 4 down have buyback, and it looks like they may have to expend it right now, else lose towers and Raxes. That's Earth Spirit back. Flyby, he's bugged up right now. They do stomp the Weaver. They have Blink, but no Abyssal just yet on Flyby. And Storm has fallen. Luckily for them, short respawn timer, so he will be back very soon. Possibly to, he doesn't have travels. He will still teleport into the shrine that's still alive. No tier 3s fallen on CDEC's side. And he's going to be coming in kind of slowly. What CDEC really want to do right now is force this Silencer to buy back. Not sure if that's in the cards right now. They'll opt for Roche. They did take out the shrine. The game clearly hates CDEC because the Roche respawns have been kind of long. Volvo bet all their rares on EHOME. Just gonna try to give them as much time as possible. Man, like, that was even Shade BKBing, then getting global silenced. Yeah, Shade BKB, he got global silenced. The Ursa got dueled without enrage. Even with all that, EHOME just couldn't do enough damage. Refresher's coming up on the silencer. And they will poke forward for demons. This Warlock at this point is completely expendable. He has no ultimate. That's really all you need him for. That giant AoE stun. They'll just camp out. Just wait. Jump in. IG versus LFY was supposed to be covered on this channel, guys. It was also supposed to start 40 minutes ago. So I'm not really sure what happened there. I'll try to get into maybe radio on Dota TV or try to go into game 2, but can't abandon a series. That's not how this works. Roshan is going to be torn to shreds. Man, they keep on buffing Roshan. Like, he's so much stronger than he was just a couple patches ago. It just doesn't seem like it matters. And granted, Ursa is just that good at killing off Rosh, so it's not really a fair comparison, but man, Roshan doesn't seem like much of a challenge despite all these buffs. That's a cheese for the Ursa. Double life for the Storm Spirit, exactly the same as last time. Shiva's Guard, fresh item pickup for the Storm. Ursa, extra 3,400. Yeah, he will have a Basher upgrade if he wants it. Guardian Greaves, not quite for the Warlock. They will have this Aegis and this Luxury just sitting around and preying on whoever is going to leave their base, as we saw last time. But just need a couple more items. No rush here. Here's the Vanguard and an Abyssal Blade in the backpack. I thought that, like, the whole point of the courier was that he's holding backpacks. Like, that's what he is, man. Well, there's the Abyssal Blade. Now the Weaver, he has a BKB. He doesn't have a Lincoln Sphere, though. He will still, in some cases, get the Purge from the Legion Commander, but if the Legion is being dealt with first, and she has been, nothing you can really do as a Weaver except for sit there and mash your time-lapse button. EHOME, they're bottled up in their base. While this is happening, CDEC are getting further ahead. You just tend to get less gold when you're stuck in your base like this. You get every creep wave pretty much, but your jungle is cut off from you. You'll be very cautiously killing off the creep wave. Like CM actually potentially gets a little bit more gold than the Weaver just because she has Nova and she's able to cast that at a range. Weaver, if he goes out, might just get jumped. These small gold changes will start to happen for EHOME, but for CDEC they have all the income from the entire map, plus an Assault Cuirass, and a second Shiva's on Sep. And he's pretty decked out right now. I'm not really sure if second Shiva's is the way to go. The auras don't stack. The Arctic Blast does do additional damage from the from each instance. Plus it's just a fat armor item. But it's a fight first. Just more general survivability. And the silencer, hit with a stick, jump in for a stomp, still alive, gets the BKB off. Wukong's command goes off in the middle of everything. Huge overwhelming odds will drop Shade very low, but he does have that Aegis, so he can keep on going. They get the bash off onto the Weaver. He is going to get out of there, albeit barely into the Shrine. He will get a lot of juice back. And it will be no one to die just yet. All the focus going towards the silencer. Now the duel onto the Storm Spirit. Jumping from Flyby. Going to try to tilt the duel, but it won't be enough. Nice stomp onto 3 heroes, but the damage to the Flyby from the silencer is adding up quick. He will cheese himself, and he still will survive for a little while longer, but not that long. Raxus will be taken in the meantime. Sep will be dropped on his retreat, and the Warlock, he's going to try to glimmer himself out of here, but there's a long way for him to go if he's going to survive this. I think it's out of the question. 2 supports versus 1 support? Sure, why not? CDEC lose 4 and gain only 1. This silencer able to just barely get that BKB off. The damage onto the Rax has been done, but 50 minutes in the game, 1 Rax? Pretty sure EHOME don't care about that. They've dealt with the Aegis, they've dealt with the cheese. Take a couple of Bloodstone charges away from the Storm Spirit as well. Not bad. And EHOME show what they can do when they actually are able to save some heroes from getting just demolished in their initiation. Weaver was doing some serious damage. The Silencer finally able to sit in the background, just right click in. Attack range makes doing that all the more easy. There's a drive-by Storm Spirit. Yeah, the Silencer is pretty stacked at this stage. 38 intelligence stolen. Quite a bit. If he's jumped on, then with no backup, it'll be pretty easy to take him out, but backup has pretty consistently been there. That was not the command that Wukong was looking for. Yeah, he just throws away a pretty long cooldown. Solar Crest, Bloodthorn on the Weaver. Look at all those red numbers. Actually doing a lot of damage just with that amplification. But he has Heart, so he's fine. He's going to even BKB just to make sure that's safe, and then the rest of the team going to back off. Shade. Looking for someone to catch, but can't quite find anyone. Same thing for the Monkey King. Although he is going to go pretty deep. Not quite deep enough. Shrines are live now for EHOME to take if they're ever able to get onto the map again. Now we have that cheap stick finally on the Silencer. He was building a Refresher Orb. Looks like he just canceled that. He had it in Quick Buy before. Refresher Orb for Set. I definitely think almost any item is better than another Shiva's Guard. But hey, why get armor for yourself when you can get more terrain walking and more damage reduction for everyone? It is very costly in the mana pool, but usually Centaur is not going to run into that many issues, even after having lost a good amount of intelligence to the Silencer. There's no mana burn on the enemy side except for Weaver. Weaver probably not going to be hugely intent on focusing the Centaur for the purposes of burning mana. I think we're a little bit past that point. Warlock's got the Guardian Greaves. He even has a little bit of experience towards level 25. Now, usually this level 25 is not picked up at all. I don't think it's going to be huge here either, but hey, it's the thought that counts. Level CM and Earth Spirit, 23, 23, yeah, so no fat talents for them. Even 23 on the Legion, actually. Top lane being pushed. Silencer does have a lot of backup here. EHOME are not going to get caught unawares. They will jump in anyway. Try to burst him down. Warlock Rock to chain stun. It's not quite good enough. He force taps himself out of there. Now the Shrine is going to give him a lot of juice back. They sheep up the Ursa, and they will start to work him down. Not dead just yet. Wukong's command once again going down Ursa. Dropping low, but the Glimmer Cape will survive. The Golem's going to wander in to get itself killed. Kick going to come through. Only stun up the Centaur. Upheaval from Demons actually going to slow down EHOME a good deal. But it will be the Centaur War Runner now to get caught with the duel. And it looks like he should be falling. Boundless Strike going to slow down the duel so that there's no damage gained. But they invest once again all of their damage into killing off that Silencer and fall short. They will back off. Sheepstick, a big deal for this Silencer. Just completely shut out the Ursa from that fight. That is going to be another good hold for EHOME. Game's not over yet, guys. This advantage, it really doesn't mean all that much. Now, EHOME, if they get a little bit too brave here, that can end up killing them. We've seen it time and time again. A team makes a couple of good holds, and suddenly they think they're very far ahead, and then they get out-initiated. There is no Warlock Rock to worry about, nor any Refresher Orb. That does not mean that EHOME can feel super comfortable going out on the map, especially since the hero's in the back. You know, you could pretty easily plan for those heroes. They're going to jump in, pull back the Weaver, go get that purged off, and now they're jumping from Flyby. Wants the Legion Commander, wants to get rid of that press of the attack, but can't quite get it. Here come the monkeys, and they will start bashing up the Weaver, but not really doing a whole lot of anything after that. So, command once again being thrown out. Just to stall. I mean, they are 4v5 after all. These heroes are still not quite 6-slotted yet. Silencer is getting there, even more attack range, but ooh, they're gonna jump in and steal Roche. That is some serious Bloodthorn work there. Dark has that double life now. Cheese, I can only assume, is in the clutches of the Weaver. No, Silencer. Where is it? Oh, CM. Of course. Why didn't I think about the CM? We have the Ags and the Earth Spirit. This is going to be an absolutely massive item. It's not the fastest Ags we've seen, but this is not a Midas Earth Spirit. Keep that in mind. Every single time, CDEC are dumping everything they have into that one guy in the front, whether it's Legion or Silencer. And as long as Earth Spirit is careful, he'll be able to save that hero. Just stone him up and pull him out of there. Or just leave him in there. I mean, your initiation's kind of whiffed if the enemy target suddenly goes invulnerable. Difficult item to play around. Once again, that Vengeful Spirit Batrider conundrum. You gotta go for the Earth Spirit. And if you go for the Earth Spirit, that means Legion Commander is gonna save the Earth Spirit with the press. No great... Oh, hello. No great options available to you there. We have ourselves an Aghanim Scepter on the Storm Spirit. You would think makes Ball Lightning stronger, but I don't know if there's any way to make Ball Lightning stronger. AoE Electric Vortex. Along with the Centaur Stomp, which is also going to be jacked up, CDEC's AoE teamfight is actually insane now. I don't think this is an item that you ever see picked up on a Storm Spirit until like 5th or 6th slot. He actually shipping out the power treads for this item in favor of Moon Shards. It's a little bit interesting to me. You would think that, like, with the amount of damage they are lacking, which is just a little bit to kill off like a Silencer, as opposed to more control. And now he's slow as all hell. But hey, 6th game of the day. We are going to hit the hour mark. Congratulations, guys, we did it. We're all still alive. I'll also try to keep you guys updated on the IGLFY game. Honestly, that game might end before this one, even though it might have not even started yet. Stomp. Just intimidation. This Weaver is real slow. They pull him back, but immediately the buff out is there. They do link him up to a couple of creeps. That can hurt, but this is a Weaver with a heart we're talking here. Jump in, looking for the Abyssal. They do get it. In the background, Centaur stunning up a couple more heroes. Wukong's man does go down, but everyone in EHOME still alive. This Crystal Maiden maybe not as much so. They do drive away the Weaver, but they are unable to kill him off. Storm Spirit has a lot of extra mana, but he just needs a target to go for. He's looking for the Earth Spirit. He will find him, pull him back in. Earth Spirit now hit with the Bloodthorn effect. I think it's just called active because it's boring. Yeah, they will kill him off next. 2 supports for CDEC. Top lane is in full breach here. And they have to go defend that EHOME. And CDEC can call that a win. They also may not realize that these 2 heroes don't have buyback. Not like it's the biggest deal in the world. But at this point, EHOME, they do need that Enchant Remnant. They do need Crystal Maiden. Just, oh my god, she has a sheep stick. I did not realize. She also has the cheese, which is an asset that the Silencer, the Weaver, the Legion are not going to have pitched to them in the next fight. CDC want in. BKB's cooling down. There is no Golem here. But they have an AoE Electric Vortex. Shade. Hit with a couple of attacks from the Weaver. Bounding Strike onto the Weaver. They see him. Stomp. Follow-up is there. Plus the Abyssal. They already get the press the attack out, and it's not good enough to save the Weaver. Needs a time lapse. Will get it out. Back to full HP. Global Silence now drops. Silencer in the background. Just right-clicking in with that fresh Hurricane Pike. But everyone is going to start stampeding across the cliffs and away to safety. And that is going to be a 0 casualty engagement. Going nobody's way. Man, I'm starting to wonder, like, what's going to turn this tide? Just better positioning for some of these heroes? I mean, positioning is obviously always important. But these heroes are starting to get 6-slotted with items that are not replaceable. There's Refresher Orb still being built in the Centaur. He's holding the gem. I guess you could pitch that to someone else. The Warlock still can contribute quite a bit if he's able to ag Refresher. Just having a second huge stun. That's BKB piercing, may be tide turning. On the other end, I mean, we have a sheep stick on the Crystal Maiden with no Hand of Midas. Keep that in mind. Like, she has not gone for Midas either. Legion actually is probably the best thing that EHOME have in order to gain a sustainable edge in this game. If Dark's able to just gain a couple of kills with that duel, or just farm up for more items, Legion Commander can still enter this game in a big way. Monkey King on the other end, I guess, is the mirrored hero there. Monkey King is able to do a hell of a lot of damage if you let him get this farm. You already see the Basher doing some serious work. We'll soon have enough gold for this MKB and buyback. Yeah, I mean, the big core heroes are pretty much maxed out and topped off. Yeah, Hyperstone's coming in. But these side supporty heroes, still a long ways to go. Man, I did not expect EHOME to hold out for this long. This is the strength of a hard purge, or I guess strong dispel. The technical term, if you want to get technical. Strong dispel with a Weaver. Really powerful. We see this plenty with the Abaddon. Silencer as well as the Legion Commander. Two heroes that have, in theory, infinite scaling. And CDEC just don't have that. I mean, every single kill the Silencer witnesses, it's more int, a little bit more damage. Who knows, that may actually just make a difference. I'm gonna say it's already kind of making a difference. Not like a huge one, but we got Stampede now for the Centaur War Runner. Double Lotus, double everything. I don't know if you could sustain all of these double casts, though. Again, only 1,000 mana on the Centaur War Runner. It's like 400 for a Refresher, 375 or something like that. Yeah, 375. It is pretty expensive.
Excellent.
You know, if CM or Earth Spirit went Midas this game, they would probably be 6-slotted. I mean, Warlock isn't, I guess, so maybe not. Uh-oh. This is the type of careless play that loses you games. Silencer off on his own. Luckily for him, there is no 5-man convergence on him. But we can see EHOME, they're getting very confident around the map. And to their credit, they have been doing a lot better, but this Silencer is kind of just bluffing. He's like, yo, I got my entire team behind me. Come at me, bro. And, well, he obviously doesn't. This is the type of thing that will lose you a game. Overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. Here comes the smoke. This is going to be a game-winning attempt here from CDEC. They see the Silencer, they're going to bounce into the back. Warlock ultimate drops, they're going to try to focus the Silencer with BKB and the Glimmer. He's going to get himself out of here. Legion Commander not doing too hot, will fall first. Off in the back, it's the Weaver, kind of separated from his allies. Legion Commander will buy out. The chase is on for the Weaver, but they can't quite find him. June is in the front, gets sheeped up, and with the heroes converging on him, is in a little bit of trouble. Duel goes off, and Legion Commander is going to try to handle his Ursa, but is very handily losing that duel. Will actually survive for a little while longer, gets enchanted, so will survive for a little while longer still. Weaver, the Silencer pulled right back in by the Storm Spirit, still alive, still kicking, but the Ursa, he's dropping scarily low. Weaver with the Glimmer Cape will eventually be brought down by this Weaver, who's still running at full HP. The Storm Spirit's doing a lot of work here, but so is the Weaver. And it will be a 3-for-2 exchange. Roll in. They're looking for this Storm Spirit. Another Hex, another kick, and they'll bring him down. A minute on the sidelines. Absolutely no damage going in on this Weaver. After all is said and done, it is a 3-for-3 exchange, but EHOME flushing their Legion Commander down the toilet is really nothing new. It doesn't seem like duel is really anything but a mild disable at this point. Killing off the Storm Spirit is huge game. But this fight for EHOME did not go well enough to consider that play where they can make a significant push happen. They can go for Roche though. Weaver can clean that up to give Aegis to the Earth Spirit, I guess. I mean, he's not going to take it, is he? He already is 6 slotted. Diffusal Blade can be refreshed, I suppose. Ursa? Really? Thinking about this. You don't want to mess with the Bear's Cave. This is his cave here. We're just going to pop the BKB. Look for the Roshan. Is going to claw down the CM first and not get the Aegis. It's claimed by the Earth Spirit. Perfectly planned by EHOME, of course. Now here comes the Storm Spirit. Big zip in. Is going to drop the Earth Spirit low. Pop the Aegis immediately. G's going to try to go after this Warlock, who's just going to try to buy a little bit of time for his allies to finish dealing with this Earth Spirit, who still has the cheese. And he's still alive in the bit with a roll out. He's going to survive for a little while longer. How is Demon still alive? You what? He's definitely dying, right? No, he's not dead yet. Cheese and the Earth Spirit's going to keep him alive still. Demon's still alive? Are you kidding me? Centaur Global now coming into play. Yo, is this going to be the escape of the century? It's a 70-minute Weaver that fails to kill off a Warlock. Are you kidding me? Are you joking right now? You what? Okay. Whatever, man. Warlock is apparently a sick nerd baller. End result, Cheese Aegis down the tubes. Earth Spirit works really hard to keep himself alive. But we're approaching dangerous territory now. Take another quick look at this buyback chart. Lots of green. Centaur, Legion Commander did buy back previously. At this point, this is all irrelevant. This is the only skill that really matters. Press the attack. Sep. He's going to Stampede out of there. Doesn't have another one, but only a minute. Or 30 seconds, I guess, if he really needs it. Stupendous. And we're back out. My water cup is empty, guys. Feels bad, man. That feeling when you don't plan for a 70-minute game. Monkey King also going for a Refresh Orb. I don't think I've actually ever seen a Monkey King refresh Wukong's command. First of all, what I know it does is that it will make because my computer already doesn't like that ultimate. It lags every time. I'm assuming it'll just deploy a second group, but I'm pretty sure you also don't want to use it twice in a fight because EHOME will just leave the circle or kill you. You want to use it for more uptime. Oh, Silencer. Once again, this is a very brave move by him. Brave or foolish? There's a fine line. There's the Bounding Strike. They're going to jump right in. Silencer with the BKB is going to get pulled out by the Earth Spirit. Wukong's command number 1 plus the Warlock Golems will drop, but they can't catch anyone. Now the Global Silence is committed. They're going to focus in onto the Ursa, taking a hell of a lot of damage, is tapped out of mana, and should fall soon. Guardian Greaves is going to buy him a little bit more space, but it won't be enough. He will go down to the end. Now the Centaur Warrior in the middle of everything, frozen in place. Wrong. Going to let it go right in the middle of everything. Plus that Centaur. He will fall with no buyback. Ursa's going to return to this fight. They're all in CDEC, but they've lost the Ursa once. They've lost the Storm Spirit. They're going to lose Demons, and maybe more. As they're thinking about going up north for that Monkey King, can't quite find him. They'll clean up the Golems first, and it will be CDEC to lose resoundingly in this engagement. And now for EHOME, that is good enough to consider that a play where they can make a push happen immediately afterwards. I mean, if they pick off Ursa again, it is just game over. CDEC will not have a Monkey King ultimate for, you know, probably 15 seconds. They will definitely not have a Warlock ultimate, nowhere near a Refresher Orb. The Storm Spirit, he may be back, but he's gonna have to make some pretty big plays with this Ursa. Melee racks will get picked at. A single set of racks doesn't make a huge difference in this stage of the game, so it's either megas or bust for real relevance. And I think CDEC know that. They're going to wait the 7 seconds. In that time, top lane, mid lane will be cleared out. But they're going to accept that loss. And try to hold bottom. It's going to be EHOME now. A little bit of a creep equilibrium advantage. Top lane is a wash, but mid lane is going to be pushing in towards the Dire. Again, it doesn't really matter. It's 70 minutes in. Even Megas, something that both teams can probably hold realistically. You don't want to give up Megas, but it's probably better than throwing heroes away when you know you can't win a fight. There's still buyback on everyone from EHOME. Not having lost anyone in that previous engagement. It's kind of like the scaling issue of Centaurs and offlane. In the early stages, double edge, hoof stomp, and this stuff does a lot of damage. But as the game progresses, it does less and less comparatively. And he's just kind of a tanky guy. I mean, Earth Spirit at least is giving his allies some pretty serious value. Enchant Remnant got the silencer out of that last engagement. I mean, he was, again, very far ahead of the rest of his team. Still pulled out to safety. Now EHOME looking to make a game-ending play down bottom. Now, they have probably earned this confidence. Why is this only a level 1 Diffusal Blade when you have 10k gold? Come on, bro. Live a little bit. Oh, wait. Oh, it's Moonshard. I was like, he has 10k gold. He's opening up an inventory slot. I know a certain item he could put into it. They're just going to push down bottom. And CDEC, unless they're going to trade for Megas, which is not possible right now, they have to defend. G is just going to go to town on the tower. It wasn't that strong to begin with. Jump in, hoof stomp, press the attack, not even needed. They will chain stun him pretty well. Now they're jumping for flyby, possibly BKB, but can't get anything done. Sheepstick kind of being burned on the Centaur unnecessarily. They will walk in, take a tower, walk out. A BKB charge, down on a couple of these heroes, plus that Sheepstick. You at least wait for the sheep to be back. You don't have to wait for BKB. Although again, they're really in no rush. Jump in, they're going to go ahead and grab the Weaver, but once again, pulled out by the Enchant Remnant. Huge plays, now the duel is in. Onto the Monkey King. If they can take out this ultimate, that will be huge. No more bashes in the fight, but they will save him for a little while longer with the chaotic offer. Monkey King get another balance strike, but will go down in the end. In exchange for CM, the Legion Commander once again is on the run, will once again be put under cover of Stone Flyby. On his way out, will make it out alive, as Shade's going to try to gun for this silencer, but these Glimmer Capes, they can't see them. They can't get these kills. It's only one's death in favor of CDEC so far. They buy back as well in the Monkey King. They're going to go in for a little bit more. Shiva's Guard really deep now is looking for the Legion Commander. Is going to get the kill, but he's completely out of mana. He can't really fight effectively anymore. And off towards the top side, Sepp is chasing after this silencer. This is the big target they want. The Centaur needs some help, because the Weaver is kind of in his way as well. Flyby's going to jump in with the bashes. Weaver is going to not time-lapse. He's dead before he can get it off. Storm Spirit's back with a lot of mana, because he has just that much regen, but these heroes from EHOME, they all have buyback. So it is, I guess we can say, a win for CDEC. They hold their base. I mean, the bottom lane at least. The mid lane, and not looking all that hot. They only expend one buyback in the Monkey. And this is looking like it's going to be a buyback force attempt from CDEC. Get a buyback out on the Weaver, and if you kill him again, it's a win. You probably can't recover from that as EHOME. But killing off Weaver once, you can see how hard it was. Gotta do it one more time, man. Here comes this jump in from the Storm. BKB on the silencer. Looking perfectly safe versus Shade. Something popped that Lincoln's. Looks like it wasn't the Sheepstick. Kong's command gonna go down, and it will be CDEC looking to equalize the Rax count. Jump in, Earth Spirit's gonna magnetize a whole bunch. Boundless Strike is gonna go in towards the silencer, especially Flyby. He's gonna try to go for the Earth Spirit, but can't quite do it. Wrong's ultimate's gonna do next to nothing against the BKBs. Now they're gonna jump in for the Ursa. Nice vortex from the Storm Spirit, but he's running low on mana, and Dark's right on his tail. He will duel and get some damage for the first time in a long time. This Storm does have a buyback. And EHOME, they were not forced to buy out on anyone bar this Weaver. They do lose a lot of cash, but now I think we need a doctor. I think we need some sort of big damage item. If only there was a damage item in this game that gave you like a lot of damage, but maybe you lost it when you died. It would be pretty good for either of these two teams to get an edge here. It would be especially good on EHOME. CDEC, the Storm Spirit doesn't have a ton of Bloodstone charges. Should probably still be up by the time they need him. Bottom lane is pushing towards the Radiant, but that creep wave is probably not big enough, it's not, to do any real damage. And we are still going. Again, I was supposed to also cover IG versus LFY. Should have started an hour ago. And that game, too, might actually end before this game 3. Oh, this is a big item. Abyssal Blade and Monkey King. In this late game kind of scenario, when it's not quite stalemate, but close to it, Hexes and Abyssal Blades win games. And apparently, Glimmer Capes as well. These Glimmer Capes have been doing a hell of a good job. Ursa, kind of baiting, kind of just clearing mid. Smoke up now. This is a bold move from CDEC. Buyback status on the Dire is pretty good. And again, they know that Weaver, if they kill him off, that'll be huge, but they blow the smoke with the Whiff Stomp. Jump in, fly by, wants the Silencer. The Warlock Golem's gonna drop. Plus a huge Electric Vortex right in the middle. The Global Silence does go out, and they take down the Earth Spirit. Can they take down the Silencer as well? They've at least driven him out of the fight, but they need to handle the Weaver. Crystal Maiden's ultimate's gonna get cut short. And now they're chasing after Flyby, slow to a crawl thanks to the Purge. K is going to drop the Silencer, and then the Weaver maybe, time lapse is there, gets bashed up, and he will fall as well. 100 seconds, he's down for good. And the Silencer, Legion, CM, all going to buy back, but this is going to be the most desperate defense. Electric Vortex AoE is pretty darn good, guys. And Abyssal Blade. Basher on the Monkey King. Not going to say that was tide turning, but that certainly didn't hurt. Mid lane will be claimed. They are going to go for Megas instead of the game, which I think is a mistake. But they have so much time where the Weaver's dead. I think CDEC may have just done it. Yeah, they are going to go straight in after claiming Megas. And now for EHOME, they need something huge. They need a miracle. They need to get a pick off right away onto the Storm Spirit. They're going to try with the duel there. They're just not doing enough damage. Wukong's command going to drop that Circle of Death, freeze the game, and then, well, kill off the Earth Spirit. The Storm Spirit's going to jump on top of the Silencer. He's tanky as all hell, but I don't think he's able to survive this onslaught of CDEC heroes. He's going to fall. Everyone's dead on EHOME, and that is good game. Ooh, baby. 80 minutes of not Naga Siren Farm Fest. Feels good, man. I apologize for the frame rate issues. But, man, this is some game. CDEC keep themselves alive. The Starladder I-League Invitational. I have no idea what's going on with that other game, guys. I'll try to find out. I know, but that game probably launched by now, and maybe even game 2. But CDEC, not looking too hot for a good portion of that game. Do finally bring it back. And I gotta say, for EHOME.Keen, they played pretty well. Impressive display from them, but just the fact that they had a farmed Weaver and farmed Silencer wasn't quite enough. I think the Legion Commander, if she had 1-2 extra items, could have made a huge difference in this game. But in the end, it is CDEC to claim victory. Again, guys, I will go to the wait screen. I will try to get into LFY versus IG, but I don't know the status of that game. I will, again, keep you guys updated as soon as I know. I'm Mike Loris. It's been a pleasure casting this entire day for you guys. And I will probably be right back in just a little bit. See you then, guys.